Hi folks, it's a very happy day for the 2% of us that have RTX cards, Turing cards. Shadow of the Tomb Raider just got patched with shadow ray tracing technology and deep learning super sampling. This is only a couple of days old and there are already quite a few videos out there, so I thought I would just add to the fray, but show you a couple of benchmark differences between having it on and RTX technology on and it off, and some thoughts on the visual quality. Now, there are a couple things you have to do before you actually get this all to work in the game. So for Windows 10 setup, 4K is what I'm going to be showing the benchmarks at. You must have the fall 2018 update installed, that is version 1809. Now, some of you may be hesitant to do that, and rightly so, because there have been issues with this update, this latest creators update, and in fact, Microsoft rolled back the original rollout of the patch, and now have re-rolled it out, and you can get it installed by going to Windows and saying, search for updates. But I still have issues with boot. I still don't have consistent booting into the desktop. So, it's it's a little bit of caution to install this. You may make sure you back up your system before you do it, system image or what have you. So it may work on the 2018 update, that is version 1803, with experimental features allowed. Not sure how you do that. Couldn't find much information on the web on how to do that. Maybe have to be a Windows Insider. Not sure. If anybody has any comments or any thoughts on that or knowledge on that, please leave a comment, and I would like to know. You must have patch 13, but this is automatic via Steam or other services. So that brings you up to build 1.0280 for the game. And you should have the latest NVIDIA driver, which is version 4.19.35 as of this video. And of course, you need the RTX graphics card. Now, the setup I have is as follows, noting that I'm running an Ultra version, EVGA's Ultra version of the 2080, which is a 2.75 slot design, and keeps things nice and cool in the case. With overclocking, just to remind folks, I do put a little bit of core on the core, 125, bringing me, and not much on the memory. And with the 125 with turbo boost, this brings me up to about 2050 to 2100 consistently in games, and the temperatures around 65 to maximum 70, which is quite nice. Now we'll start with RTX DLSS off and no ray tracing on, so no RTX technology on, and just 2 times anti-aliasing for the benchmark with the highest preset. Okay, so we'll run it like that. That's kind of standard. Everything just 8 times anisotropic though. And with that, we get 44 frames per second on the average, with a high of 65 and a low of 38, with again an average of 47 in that table in the corner. But we'll go with the global average up there of 44. I'm not sure what the difference is between the two anyway. And if we then put RTX DLSS on and leave everything else the way it was, no shadow ray tracing yet, we get 66 frames. So that's a 50% increase in frame rate. And that's great. I mean, that's what other folks are reporting too, basically 50%. And with a max of 95 and an average minimum of 59, average of 70. But that minimum is nice because it's right around the V-sync of 60, so we're not dropping very often, if at all, into the sub 60 zone. So that's very nice implementation. If we put the ray tracing shadow quality to high and DLSS on and high preset, we drop back down to 43, and so it basically cancel out the DLSS implementation and benefit. So yeah, but we still then also have the ray tracing shadows and at 43 and a 2080, so that's good. Still very playable. It's going to be a little stuttery, but it's that's not bad. And this is basically the same numbers that WCCFtech.com reported. Almost the exact same numbers, in fact, 66 with DLSS on and ray tracing off, 41 with ultra shadow ray tracing and DLSS on. I got 43, and the difference is really probably the fact that I run ultra and I ran high. So yeah, that's great. So some observations though with this technology implemented in the game. Well, you can now run Tomb Raider at 60 FPS all the time on a 2080 at 4K at the highest setting. I mean, that's great. That's very good news right away. So really glad to see that. The visual quality is still good. I mean, in fact, it's very good. But the textures are smooth, there's no doubt, and lose some detail. Still think it's the best implementation so far of DLSS. The Metro version of DLSS implemented is got a lot of smoothing. A lot of people aren't happy with it. I think it's been improved, but still not as good as this implementation by Nix's, which maybe the 6 months really gave them a chance to perfect it. Visual detail is better without it, though, there's no doubt. So there is a trade-off for consistent 60 FPS at 4K versus having that slightly better detail with DLSS off. So it's up to you. I'm going to play with it on for now because I don't notice a huge difference. And time to time I do. But anyway, it's very livable. That said, not sure, and I haven't tested this, I'm really not sure if it's any better versus lowering the graphic settings to get 60 FPS at 4K. That is a mixture of high and medium settings in the game to achieve 60 and versus having DLSS on. Yeah, some of you might do that, and leave me a comment if you have an opinion on that. That'd be great. Application of ray tracing shadows has a big impact, basically canceling out DLSS benefit, so 50% impact. But the game does look better, there's no doubt. You put that on and things are more realistic. The textures pop out and there's depth and everything. So it's up to you. But if you want to know more about that, go to wccftech.com and you can look for, at this URL, you look for more detail on that particular aspect of this game, the impact of the visual quality impact of having the shadows, ray tracing shadow technology turned on. And with that said, that's it. Happy gaming, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment about anything, really. See ya.